Less than 24 hours after Timothy Busfield's first court appearance on charges of alleged criminal...
You've probably seen Timothy Busfield in some truly iconic TV shows, like The West Wing or 30-something. But today, we're talking about a completely different kind of drama, one that's not playing out on a Hollywood set, but inside a real-life courtroom. I mean, think about it. He's been that sharp, witty journalist Danny Kincannon, that complicated family man Elliot Weston. For decades, he's built a career playing characters we can all relate to and often really admire. So what happens when that public persona collides head-on with some very, very serious criminal charges? Well, that is the big question at the heart of this case, which is unfolding right now in Bernalillo County, New Mexico. For Busfield, this is a reality that's a world away from the Hollywood scripts he's so used to. So, let's get right into it. What exactly are the specific allegations? The whole thing stems from his time on the set of a television series, which is a place where, professional boundaries are supposed to be crystal clear. Okay, so here's the headline. A grand jury has officially indicted the 68-year-old actor on count 'em, four felony counts of child sexual abuse. And look, these are formal charges, not just rumors or accusations. This means the legal system has decided this is serious enough to move forward. The indictment really lays out the who, what, where, and when. The what is the alleged incidents on the set of the TV series The Cleaning Lady. The when was back in 2022. And the who? Well, the alleged victims were two 7-year-old twin boys who were there working as actors. As the Special Victims Unit dug into this, a really specific and serious claim emerged that Busfield allegedly groped one of the child actors while they were on set. Now, here's a key piece of the puzzle. And it actually comes from a statement Busfield reportedly made himself. He apparently told an officer that physical contact with the boys was highly likely. As you can imagine, that statement has become a central focus of the investigation. So with all these allegations on the table, you start to see two very different stories taking shape. First, let's look at the prosecution's case, which is being led by the district attorney's office. The district attorney, Sam Bregman, has gone on the record saying his office is, and I quote, committed to ensuring justice for victims. That's a pretty clear signal that they are taking these allegations incredibly seriously. And you gotta remember, this case has already passed a pretty significant legal checkpoint. A grand jury, which is made up of everyday citizens, reviewed the evidence. They decided there was what's called probable cause, basically enough evidence to believe a crime was likely committed. And that's why they moved forward with a formal indictment. All right, so that's the prosecution side. But now let's flip the coin and look at the defense, because they are building a powerful counter-narrative. They're not just denying the charges, they're basically attacking the entire foundation of the case against their client. And this really sets the stage for a major legal battle. On one side, the prosecution is holding up that grand jury indictment as proof that they have a strong case. But on the other side, the defense is calling the entire thing fundamentally unsound. Two completely opposite takes. To really drive their point home, the defense is using what's famously known as the ham sandwich argument. It sounds kind of funny, but it's a classic legal jab. The idea is that grand jury proceedings are so one-sided, with only the prosecutor presenting evidence, that a skilled prosecutor could get a grand jury to indict just about anyone or anything, even a ham sandwich. So beyond attacking the process, the defense is also zeroing in on the motives of the children's parents. They're alleging that the parents are just trying to get leverage, and they claim the real motivation here is the loss of what they call a 6-figure income stream that their kids had from acting. And what about Timothy Busfield himself? Well, he is not staying silent. In a personal video he released to the public, his denial could not be more direct. In his own words, he said the accusations are, quote, all lies. Okay, so you've got these two completely opposite narratives clashing with each other. Where does this all go from here? Let's take a quick look at the road ahead in the legal process. So let's just quickly recap the timeline. It all started with the alleged incidents back in 2022. That kicked off an investigation by the Special Victims Unit, which then led to the grand jury indictment. The very next major step is the arraignment. That's the formal court hearing where Busfield will have to officially enter a plea, either guilty or not guilty. And in the meantime, while he's waiting for that arraignment, it's important to know he's not in custody. He's been released on his own recognizance. That just means he didn't have to post bail, but he has promised the court he'll show up for all of his future court dates. And this whole situation leaves us with a huge, thorny question, one that goes way beyond this specific case. In an industry like Hollywood, which is built entirely on image, how does that bedrock legal principle of innocent until proven guilty actually survive in the court of public opinion, especially when a famous, beloved public figure is right in the middle of the storm? It's something we'll all be watching as this case moves forward.